Hi, everybody. Welcome to today's edition of the Gamut Network. I am very grateful because our guest today did get up extra early from California to be a part of the interview today. And look at this beautiful face. Kian, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us very early West Coast time. So we greatly appreciate that, and welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I always like to start with kind of giving our viewers a little bit of background on who you are, about your disability. So let's kind of start from the beginning.
So my disability journey started when I was 16. I started passing out.
Just
And
randomly, just for no reason.
yeah, I, got like I was at church and I sort of like got this sensation before and then I ran to the bathroom and yeah, I passed out.
That must have been scary.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. And so did this start happening on a regular basis?
It started happening maybe like once a month.
Okay. And so then did you go to the doctors? Like, what happened from that point?
My parents didn't really like believe in medicine or labels, so they sort of told me that like, I was fine, that that people pass out, and I was given that sort of talking to.
So at some point, did you take matters into your own hands and say something's wrong? I know my body.
When I was about 18 years old, I went to the doctor and started, telling them like, hey, I pass out. Um, like we need to get to the bottom of this. And then I did, and they did some tests and they said that they couldn't really like find anything. But when I had the heart monitor put on, I wasn't like telling my parents because of their views. I wasn't telling my parents that I was being checked for a heart condition. So I I
You were doing all this in kind of secret. That must have been
yes, yes.
incredibly difficult. So not only I'm sure were you worried about what was happening to you, because we all know our bodies, but
Hmm.
also you were kind of betraying your parents a bit in their beliefs. So
Yeah,
I mean, I think that takes an incredible amount of courage to
thank you.
be able to know yourself and your body well enough to say, I have to do this. So you were kind of hiding the heart monitors and whatnot. And what did the doctors find?
The doctors didn't find anything at that point, and I think it was because I wasn't like logged in when I was having symptoms. So they couldn't look at it like directly. So it actually took until I was about 2 years old to get a diagnosis, and the specialist kind of like looked at, or he did the heart monitor again, and um, he he said that it would right away. He was like, "Oh yeah, it's POTS," is what he called it.
Hmm. And what is that for our viewers that aren't aware of what POTS is? And is that
Um,
POTS?
yes,
Okay.
postural orthostatic tachycardic syndrome.
Hmm. And what does that mean exactly? How does that affect the body?
It pretty much means that my heart rate gets too high from like position changes, like going from lying down to sitting up or sitting to standing. my heart rate gets too high and then I pass out.
Wow. So how do you manage that? Is it medically treated? How does that work?
There are a couple of medications that I tried, but due to side effects, I was not able to stay on the medications. And like I started passing out more frequently about 3 years ago. And right now I use a wheelchair and a service dog to mitigate it.
So the using of the wheelchair allows you to stay in that in a position so that you're not kind of moving around as much to alleviate the passing out. I'm curious on that,
Yes.
and this is a little foreshadowing, everybody, because we are going to talk about service dogs in a bit. But does your dog know when you're about to pass out?
Yes.
Ah, that is so amazing. I
Yeah.
we've spoken to other guests about that piece, and I'm so fascinated by it. And I know, okay, I'm not going to keep everybody out of suspense, but I know that you're at Polytech in California, and you have
Mhm.
2 semesters left, and service dogs have now become kind of a direction of your focus. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. Um, I got a service dog a little bit after or before I started passing out like that. I had originally gotten her for some mental health things, and I ended up being able to train her to alert to my passing out episodes.
It's unbelievable. How do you train? How does that work? I would love to get a little insight on that.
So she she can alert. We found out that it's my blood pressure that is really low, and that causes me to lose consciousness. And she can sense it. So what I started doing is, I would feel it coming on, and then I would blow at her so that she got like the scent of it, and then tell her to alert. And then she started picking up on that.
And who is she alerting? Anybody that you're with, or she's telling
She's,
you that you better reposition yourself or prepare?
yeah, yeah, she's telling me.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. And how long have you been in the wheelchair?
I've been in the wheelchair uh, maybe 2.5 years now.
Has that helped?
Yes.
And how has that changed your life in terms of mobility, managing a world that isn't necessarily built for people with disabilities? Has that been an adjustment, or has the fact that it's helped with the passing out kind of outweighed all of that?
It's definitely outweighed it. The benefits have outweighed it. But it is really different going from like I went into a wheelchair while still at my at Cal Poly. So I went from like being able to like walk a path to classes to having to roll to the classes, and it's a completely different path than I would have taken before.
Mm. So your life had to be adjusted.
Yes.
How about mentally?
It was hard because everyone always is staring at you, but I got that with the service dog, so I got a little bit of like an intro to that before.
So this it was just part of it. That
Yeah.
they're looking at the dog, they're looking at you, they're looking at the wheelchair, and now you're probably getting desensitized to it.
Yes.
And again, it's a benefit and a help to your well-being. So I would imagine that that also has helped with the mental capacity of this as well.
Yeah.
And so, in terms of what you plan on doing post graduation, talk to us a little bit about how you see, your path going towards service dogs and whatnot.
So I would like to do research with medical alert service dogs and how they can alert to a variety of different things, especially like POTS and maybe seizures.
Yes, I think that's what I've heard in our previous interviews. People that have had seizures have had tremendous success with
Mhm.
the service dogs. It's so fascinating. I can't wait to see what you do with that. If people have questions or want to know more about your story, what's the best way for them to get connected to you?
I have an Instagram for my service dog, and it is ZOEZASD.
Zoe as in Zoe.
Yes.
Okay, great. So I highly encourage people, especially even if you're thinking about getting a service dog or want to see how it benefits, please reach out and get a better understanding of that. Before we go, I'd like to ask all of my guests one final question. I think we've heard a little bit about how you're going to answer this, but I'm curious for other reasons. I'm a very big believer in the power of manifestation and vision boards and really putting out there what you want to accomplish in this lifetime, even if it seems like the greatest, biggest idea of all, or it's a small idea that you just want to accomplish in your lifetime. If we got to look on your vision board, what would we see?
I would say that modeling is definitely on it because I've always been recommended to model. And then also training service dogs, medical alert service dogs. I had a trainer and she has since passed away, and she inspired me to train medical alert service dogs.
I love it. And I think that is just a beautiful path to go down to help others. And I couldn't agree more on the modeling. We are definitely going to do our part to get you out there because you definitely need to be seen. Absolutely gorgeous. And I loved getting to know you. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I'm sure it will help many people out there that are struggling with how to manage through challenges in life, especially during this time of our world, whether it's medical or mental or emotional or anxiety. There's a whole host of reasons why we can definitely benefit from your story. So thank you so much for being on the show and sharing with us and being so candid and open.
Thank you.
It was so lovely to meet you. If you would like to be on the Gamut Network, please email us at talent@gamutmanagement.com to let us know why you'd be a great guest. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Gamut Network, as well as follow us on social media at Gamut Management. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.